in that range, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, I think they're gonna. I'm not exactly sure exactly, but I think they're getting rid of. Like, hello. No, it's not Frank Coelho. It is, let's see.
That way I can call him up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably just say the coach with. I'll see if I can find it.
Andrew Cortez, okay. All right, good evening. The time being 6:30, I'd like to call this meeting in order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Murdoch. Present. Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert.
Present.
Councilmember Patassi. Here. Councilmember Kettering.
Here.
And Mayor Barrios.
Here, please note all 5 of us are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation provided by Jeff Kavanaugh of Calvary Chapel, Oakdale. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, let's pray. Father, we're just so thankful for this Christmas season. Reminder, Jesus left heaven to come to earth and live a perfect life and die for us. We're so thankful, Lord. We continue to pray for the city's police and public servants for their safety. And tonight, Lord, we just ask for you to give wisdom to the members to make decisions in accordance with your will. And we ask and thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jeff. All right, so tonight we have some exciting news. We're going to recognize the OSC, or Oakdale Soccer Club U9 competitive girls team, for winning the State Cup Bronze Division. So can I have Coach Andrew Cortez to come up to the mic? Hi, Andrew.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. So I'd like for you to tell everybody here a little bit about your club and a little bit about why we're honoring you tonight.
Oh, well, my club behind me, we're honoring them today for winning State Cup, obviously, at such a young age. We have a lot of 6 and 7-year-olds out here. First year in competitive, and we took State Cup out in, what was it? Out in Sacramento. So yeah, that's why we're honoring them today.
So how many games did you guys have to play?
We played 3 in, was it 3 in total? 4. 4 in total.
4 in total?
4 in total. Yeah, we played 3 for, what was the other ones? I forgot the other one. Frank's back here helping me over here.
Mr. Coelho, why don't you come up to the mic as well?
Yeah, you can come up. You can come up.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for this. That's why.
That's okay. Sorry, I put you on the
Caught
spot.
me off guard.
That's
Caught me
okay.
off guard.
How you doing, Frank?
Good.
Good,
So this
good.
is actually a U8 team at Oakdale Soccer Club playing up in the U9 division right now. That's why it's so exciting for them to go and compete in NorCal State Cup and bring home a trophy for Oakdale. A lot of the girls are 2018 and 2019 birth years, and they were playing against 2017 birth years. So
I
it was
love
exciting for Coach and exciting for all the families.
I love it. Well, as being one of the original founding members for OSC, I just want to thank you guys so much for doing all that you do to keep this club going. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm very, very proud of you. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go down there. We're going to go down there, and you'll call out their names. They'll come up,
Okay.
and we'll give them one of these and shake their hands, and then get a group picture. Sound good?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I got you.
Patrick?
First one up is Payne.
All right.
The next one up is Emerson. And then we have Nadia. Penelope. Maggie. Alice. Evelyn. Mila. Hazel. Scarlett. Bradley. And Willow.
All right, you ready? We're gonna get a group picture. Let me actually get right here. Normally I'm in the front row. I've been playing soccer since your girls' age. Let me get right here, sweetheart. All right, you ready? Get in, coach. Ready? You guys see?
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
girls.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, one more round of applause for these young ladies. And of course, their parents and their coaches, right? Their parents and their coaches. So thank you guys for being here this evening. You're welcome to stay with us throughout the whole meeting, or you're welcome to leave, whatever you'd like. Bye. Bye. Bye, Frank. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you. Congratulations. Keep going. All right.
Right.
Item 5.2, StanCog, presentation on unmet transit needs. Good evening. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having me. So good evening, my name is Cassandra Barrientos. Good evening, my name is Cassandra Barrientos, and I am an associate planner at the Stanislaus Council of Governments. I want to thank you all for your time today to allow me to present on the Transportation Development Act and the unmet transit needs process. To give you guys a quick background and definition on what an unmet transit need, it's a transportation option that people would take but is not currently available to them because it doesn't exist. So we're really looking to identify what the mobility gaps are and how can we improve the local bus services, paratransit service, and microtransit services here in the area. We kicked off the public comment period on November 12th, and it will be going through January 22nd. So every year, the Transportation Development Act requires us to hold the unmet transit needs process. And the way StanCog is under this is that we're responsible for the administration of two different funds, which is the local transportation fund that comes from a 1/4-cent sales tax, and then the state transit assistance fund, which is a gas and diesel tax. And both of these are awarded to transportation-related projects here in the region. So the unmet transit needs process has certain requirements. We are required to hold public outreach workshops, which I will display in a future slide. We are required to have one public hearing, and we will be holding that on January 21st at the StanCog Policy Board meeting at 6 p.m. We will also, once we conclude the public comment period, I'll be reviewing all the comments that we've received and working on an analysis report to decide where they fall into, and there's 3 categories that I will also explain following up. And then once we wrap up the report, we will present it to our policy board for their approval, and finally we will submit that to Caltrans. So as mentioned, we're going to be working on that annual report, and it helps us identify transit needs in the jurisdiction that might be reasonable to meet by either establishing or contracting for new public transportation services or by expanding current existing services. So that could mean adding a stop to a specific route and things of that sort. So the three definitions that comments can either fall into are: 1, there are no unmet transit needs; 2, there are no unmet transit needs that are reasonable to meet; and 3, there are unmet transit needs, including needs that are reasonable to meet. So some of the outreach efforts that we've been working on is we have a survey that we launched that is available in both English and Spanish. We've created social media and a media kit that we've distributed to different partners here in the region. We've also worked on flyering, and last week we attended one of the open houses that Stein RTA had at the Downtown Transit Center. And we're working with the local transit agencies here, such as Stan RTA, Turlock, and MOVE, to help spread the word amongst their riders. And we're also attending various meetings here in the region. So we officially kicked off our presentation at the Social Service and Transportation Advisory Council that we have at StanCog. We've attended the Ceres City Council meeting. We're here tonight, and then we'll be holding our public hearing on January 21st at the StanCog Policy Board meeting. So some of you guys have in front of you today some of the flyering that we've been distributing to the local partners and people here in the community. It's double-sided, so it comes in English and Spanish, and it comes with a quick infographic to kind of explain what a transit need is. I know sometimes people read it and they're like, what does that mean? It's not just to get you to work, but also to get you to your medical appointments, dental appointments, recreational activities. So we're really just trying to understand where those mobility gaps are. And the way that people can send us comments is, 1, through our survey, sending us an email, mailing us a letter, or giving us a phone call. And thank you guys again for your time. That concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you so much. Any questions from council?
This survey would be to request to add a stop, correct?
It could be to request to add a stop, or if you have a route that you want to start from scratch, and we can get comments like that as well.
Because we really need a bus stop closer to the only dry cleaners in our city.
Okay, I'll take note of that, and then, yeah, you're welcome to fill out the survey as well,
Okay.
but yeah, I'll write that down.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thank you very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening. All right, next item, reporting out of closed session, we give direction to staff. Next, now's the time for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment for an item that's not on the agenda, please come up to the mic. You will have 3 minutes, and please state your name. Again, this is public comment. Good evening, Julio.
Good evening. My name is Julio Halak, citizen of Oakdale. I want to thank you, the City Council, for giving us a couple of minutes. Oakdale Cycling Events is a new nonprofit that we formed about a year ago by the Oakdale Sunrise Rotary Club, Team 209, and the Bike Shop. So the purpose of coming together to continue with our vision of doing some incredible cycling in Oakdale and in the surroundings. We just completed our 10th annual cycling event, and we're very proud to tell you that we raised $17,000.
Wow.
Thank you. We are giving $12,000 to a couple of nonprofits, including American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Astro Foundation, Case to You, Children's Crisis Centers, Loving Hearts Creations, Oakdale Community Sharing, Oakdale Rescue Mission, Team 209, and United Samaritan Foundation. It's been a lot of fun doing it. We had about 85 cyclists. And thank you, Jeff, for all your support as well. And we're going to continue doing this, and we hope that our mayor continues cycling with us. You know, she was the leader of the pack on the 11 mile. And you have a little brochure of what we are doing, and so hopefully Oakdale becomes to be known as the cycling capital of the world as well.
Oh, boy. There's sure a lot of cyclists that meet here on the weekends,
Thanks
too.
again. We really appreciate it,
Yeah.
okay? And-
Appreciate
and-
you
and
guys,
we
too.
are so pleased that we are able to give so much money back to our local nonprofits. Okay? Any
Okay.
questions?
Any questions?
Okay.
No question.
How many miles we do? couple of hundreds, couple of thousands, depending, and for the whole year. Okay, Mel Bradley is here with me. He's the founder of Team 209, the man behind raising almost $4 million for leukemia and lymphoma. So we start training in January, and I personally do about 2,000 miles every year. And I'm barely shy, almost 72. So anyway, thank you so much for
Thank you,
everything.
Julio. Thank you, Mel.
I appreciate it.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see some of you again.
Good to see
I
you.
am with Behavioral Health Recovery Services, and we are coming out. Some of you should have something that looks like this. And so just wanted to share out that as we fight the good fight against suicide in our county, we're watching the rates at the county in collaboration with our Suicide Prevention Education Coalition. And one of our members, Caitlin Wells, was there on this last Friday and invited us to come out and share some of the information with you all. So in 2024, the highest death rate related to suicides was among Oakdale residents. That was at 30.2 per 100,000, which is a crude rate. So please understand that's not 30 people, but 30 per 100,000. It's a way of balancing and normalizing the number to make it more of a percentage. But that number was 76% higher than 2023. However, the good news is in 2025, our preliminary data shows that we are starting to go down in Oakdale. So some of what we're doing is working, right? Some of the partnerships, some of the messaging. We don't share small numbers for privacy purposes. It's too easy to figure out, oh, well, that was probably this neighbor or that neighbor. And so that's why we use a crude rate. And also with 2025 data, we're only in December, and it takes anywhere from 90 days to solidify those numbers. And so those are where we are right now. We are working, first of all, thank you for being good partners. We've been able to come out and partner with you all. We've been to some of the meetings with you all, but we do want to share with our community that there are things that we can do in our community. There is QPR trainings available through the county. QPR stands for Question, Persuade, Refer. And the reason it's like that is it parallels to CPR. So it's not therapy, it's in the moment response to a crisis. Much like if an ambulance came out, they're not gonna ask you when you had your last COVID shot or your last flu shot, right? They're gonna get right down to the nuts and bolts. So it's teaching everyday people how to respond to someone when they're in crisis, how to recognize when someone is struggling with suicides. Those trainings are anywhere from an hour and a half, 2 hours, give or take. And so we'd love the opportunity to share more of those out there. We have them ongoing monthly in our county agency, but we're also open to come out to different agencies, to different communities, sometimes churches, sometimes schools, whatever that looks like. We have 988 information. So 988 is like 911. It's our national suicide hotline. And we know that our young people specifically, they don't always want to call. So you can text hello, hola, or home to the number 988. You can call it. You can also text 988lifeline.org if you're on a computer and get someone 24 hours a day. You can also reach out to our county crisis access line if someone needs help. That number is 188-376-6246. Is my time up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to thank you for having the event at the community center. I don't know, how many months ago was that, Jennifer? 6 months?
July.
6 months?
The park or the town hall?
Town hall.
What's the town hall?
April. Thank you for having that. And then, of course, for meeting with our supervisor, our chief, our city manager, and with the promotores and Ruben
Yes.
Imperial, and working, I believe, maybe with Love Oakdale or another entity. Hi, Ruben. Anyway, we just want to say thank you to the promotores for really helping out in our community. They help a lot with this. And so we just want to continue to work together and do the best that we can for our community.
That was my 2 minutes, and so Jen's got another 2 minutes to invite you to some things.
It was, yeah, it's 3 minutes, yes.
Oh, it's 3? Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Can I, before we're done, I would like to just say something. That is that the information that she's sharing is quite moving. I think instead of doing this under public comment, they should be invited back under the proper mechanism so they can do a proper presentation. They're not limited to 3 minutes. I'll work, or the chief will work with Ruben, and we'll get this done in the proper manner.
Sound good? Thank you. Yeah. I have one question. Thank you.
I do too.
All right, thank you. Then we'll get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Chief, you'll get a hold of him? Okay, thank you.
So just real quickly too, so the access number that Tamika just shared on, I'll leave these. access
Jennifer, you can
numbers.
step up. You can step up and get 3 minutes.
Well, thank you, Jerry. So I get 3 minutes too? All right, okay. So I'm going to touch just briefly on our drug-related overdose and poisoning deaths then, and would be happy to come back and do a full presentation. Thank you for that invitation to do so. We have been working with the mayor, with Jerry, and with Jason on trying to reduce our numbers, not just on suicides, but on our drug-related overdose and poisonings. Fentanyl is something that has really impacted all of our communities. Oakdale has been disproportionately impacted by our drug-related overdose and poisonings as well. But we are making progress. Started with that town hall meeting in April. Then we did a concert in the park. We were here for National Night Out in Oakdale. We've got some school presentations lined up. So I think there's been a lot of great partnerships with the city, and thank you for those opportunities to expand on those relationships and increase awareness. On that awareness piece, I will leave these up front. These are our access cards where anyone can call to access mental health and substance use disorder treatment services in the county. Tamika shared about the 9889 being a national suicide line. Someone that is having a substance use crisis can also call or text 988. It's any type of behavioral health crisis, and substance use disorders are a crisis just like a mental health is. So if someone is contemplating use or concerned about a family member that's using, they can call and text 988 and get help and support 24/7, 365. And this is another card that has community resources with a QR code on it where people can access more information. I did bring 10 kits of naloxone, our overdose prevention medication that will save lives. If someone has consumed something that has fentanyl in it, something's been laced with fentanyl, then this overdose medication can reverse the effects of that. So I encourage everyone to have this in their homes. Law enforcement carries it, our EMS, of course, but a lot of times the community members are the first one to respond. And we'll make those available too. So we can do trainings out in Oakdale, like we've come to many events and gotten quite a bit out into your community, and would love to do more.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Tell Caitlin thank you for being so responsive. I talked to her, I think, 2 days ago, and you guys were already here. I think this is
All
a
right.
big deal that we need to get in front of our kids from being involved in the church. I've learned a lot that there's a lot of young kids out there that need stuff like this and access to this, or just to be aware of it. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else for Ruben? Oh, you're good? Okay.
We'll come back.
All right, we'll see you soon then. All right, thank you. Have a great evening. All right, anyone else for public comment? Good evening. How you doing?
Christopher Smith, private citizen. First off, I just want to say it's really embarrassing to watch these meetings because they're really boring now.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Always a
Yeah, I
joke.
just wanted to come up here and say thank you to y'all and to the voters in this town who gave me the opportunity to sit in that chair for 7 long years, do the work that I was hired to do for every resident in this town. I came prepared and informed to every meeting. I read almost every page of every packet for 7 years. I abstained 0 times in 7 years, and nobody can accuse me of almost costing the city $500,000 because I didn't know what we were voting on. So I'm proud of what I did from that chair to make this town better for everybody, and I'm grateful to those of you who helped me do it. I didn't come up here to talk about myself, though. I came out here to give a shout out to a bunch of folks I have worked with who have worked hard on various projects and events. And first off, and I don't know if anybody said anything about it, a couple of months ago we had a Halloween party event in town that was coordinated by Alana Bryant and Cadence Ryland. That went off without a hitch because of their hard work. Lisa Kildgard once again set up a bunch of activities and game booths. And the Sunrise Rotary and Diana Garcia cooked hot dogs for hundreds upon hundreds of kids and parents. And add the dozens of volunteers that Alana rounded up to help serve them. And she ran the evening, and it was a fantastic time for everybody. So Alana and Cadence, by the way, from the Senior Center, hunt down the funds and coordinate everything at the Senior Center, including a monthly free breakfast and occasional dinners as well. So everybody should know who they are. Everybody should thank them when they see them. I also want to express my gratitude to the Lions Club, who cooked and served hundreds of free meals for the annual Thanksgiving Day event at the Bianchi Center. A big shout out to the dozens of volunteers who showed up and gave up most of their day to help serve the people who came to eat. And there's a park at the main intersection that I've been calling Candy Cane Lane, and a few people are responsible for setting that whole thing up. Amy Poncabaret and her husband Mark Silfer led a team of volunteers who included Danielle Sanders, Mindy Johnson, Cher Barrios and her father, and a handful of high schoolers and myself and some firefighter candidate dude named Robbie who just was walking by and decided to pitch in for a couple hours. And Mel Bradley and his team strung up the lights to the Christmas tree, lit it up for everybody. When people drive by, they should be thankful for every one of them. I'm going to need another minute or so. Also, some people are saying there's an ice skate rink in town right now. So we should be grateful to the Hayden family for sponsoring it. And for Mindy Johnson, design and decorating ideas, the entire team of volunteers who include Bree Swan, Amy Poncabaret, again, Mark Silfer, again, Gretchen Hadlin, Daniel Sanders, again, David Jablonski, Michelle Donaldson, Cher, again, and a bunch of other people who I probably didn't mention, but I didn't personally work with. So they put that whole thing together and continue to donate their time and energy to make it run as smoothly as it does. I'm just going to keep talking. There's a really clear thing about one thing. Mayor Cher Barrios latched on to the idea of having this ice rink over a year ago. And she held on until it happened, and she would not let it go. And that is a Frozen reference for everybody. Now to the council. Chief Ramar, you're doing a fantastic job, and I was proud to sit next to you, even proud to sit in front of you when you were back there as the chief of police. I'm still upset with you for not telling me and the other council members that we could be driving 100 miles an hour on D Street and that the police would do nothing about it. You should be ashamed of keeping that a secret. Councilmember Murdoch, two things. One, thank you for teaching me what you did when I first sat in that chair. Number two, thank you for making me welcome when I was new. And number three, thanks for getting into the batter's box once again to fill that position. Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert, congratulations on your appointment. I'm glad to see you there. It's always nice to see you popping up at events around town. You're a great influence for all the young'uns in town, and keep doing what you're doing. Mayor Barrios, you're the best damn mayor that this town has ever had, and I'm saying that from my heart. I've been through several mayors, and you're doing a damn fine job. There's nobody that I know with your bottomless energy and your heartfelt love for this town that you exhibit every day. You're truly one of a kind. I'm grateful, and I'm honored to have served with you. I've called you my friend for a long time, and that ends tonight. Councilmember Kettering, keep keeping that level-headed and thorough approach that you bring to these meetings, because we really need a professor sitting on this dais, and you do a great job. Councilmember Patassi, a lot of people say or have said that we didn't seem to get along when we were on the council, and that you spend a lot of time texting on the phones during the meeting. And I just want to say, Colleen, that bottomless thanks for what you've done for me, for the help that you've given me over the years. I appreciate knowing that you were always there when I had something, problem, a form, and you never once called me a name. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everything that you did. I'm forever grateful. Tom, keep a lid on this thing. Chief, nice to see you. Jeff, Albert, it's always good to work with you. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have
Merry
a good
Christmas.
night, and go back to your boring meeting now.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, Christopher. All right, anyone else for public comment?
That's real nice.
Anyone else for public comment?
Take your time to take a shot. A lot of extra time for that.
Okay, now it's time for the city council consent agenda. Anyone have an item they'd like to pull? If not, this is an action item.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I second that motion.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, item 11.1.
Okay, good evening, Mayor and council members. This has been a long time coming, so I don't have to say much other than just look at this. So, item 11.1, Patrick knows what I'm talking about. Item 11.1, so it's consideration of a resolution authorizing me to execute an agreement for the exterior and interior renovations and purchase of furniture for the city of Oakdale council chambers located right here at 277 North 2nd Avenue in the amount of $122,931.38 to be funded from Fund 270 and Fund 540. Like I said, this has been budgeted for quite a few years, so the money does exist in the accounts. This is the front of the council chambers. So the background, City of Council Chambers serves as central venue where the city officials, yourselves, conduct the city's business. Both the interior and exterior of the building are showing significant signs of wear and tear. Hasn't undergone any updates since about 1980. So we're looking at about 45 years since this place has undergone any updates. The furniture, including the dais and audience seating, is outdated and at the end of its functional lifespan. If you walk in, you see some of these chairs, a lot of rips and tears, stains. It just not in good functioning condition. Repainting of the exterior chambers, it's fading, it's weathering, visible deterioration, and repainting it will significantly improve the overall look of the inside and outside of the building. So I'll just give you some pictures from the outside that maybe, especially right now when you get here, you can't see because it's dark outside, but a lot of the structure just needs to be repainted. So the concrete entryway and rails, exterior doors require refinishing, repainting, and proposing a new overhang. So that we're proposing that the new overhang match the finance department, the front of City Hall, and the police department. And I'll show you a picture of it so you know exactly what I'm talking about. The doors are quite weathered, rust, chipped, faded paint from oxidization from the sun over the years, needs to be fixed. Railing is faded, has different colors just because of the oxidation. And refinishing will address its deterioration, improve the appearance, and ensure safety of the and longevity of the building. So this is the outside of the building. The doors are weathered. You can see that. The concrete is that old red stuff. And what we're proposing is a new overhang that'll match what's over here on 3rd. Actually proposing doing that up front. Exterior at City Hall, up at City Hall, the wood on here, I'll show you. The far right is what we're proposing. We put out in front of the council chambers, the wood structure. The exterior windows require refinishing or replacement. There's 19 windows that have reached the end of their service life. Seals are worn, windows have cracked. There's 5 windows with historical and architectural significance. They'll be restored, and those window frames will be repainted. And this is what they look like. This is what I'm referring to. And then the platform, leveling, and replacement of the main chamber and front entry flooring. Interior flooring, we're going to level this potentially, remove the tripping hazard that we're all familiar with, and ensure ADA compliance. We're proposing new carpeting for in here and new vinyl that'll match what we've done over at the police department. The vinyl will match. It'll be basically all the city buildings in this region will have the same carpeting and the same flooring. And of course, you know that it looks like this. And the tripping hazard there in the middle, just the way it was built. So the front, the far right picture, we want to pull out that carpet and do the high traffic area vinyl flooring that you see there on the right. And then the carpet squares in here, so it'll match over at the PD, City Hall, and the Finance Department. Removal of the video production room window and closing of the opening. So there's a window back there. A lot of you might not have ever seen it. There's currently a window that's boarded up. We're proposing removing the window, closing it It'll improve the efficiency of the building and the overall appearance. And this is what it looks like from the inside and the outside. Replacement of the dais. Existing dais was from the 1980s, probably when we moved in here. No longer meets current operational needs, doesn't provide sufficient space, is heavily worn and pieced together. A new dais will improve the ergonomics, accessibility, and overall operations and efficiency of what we're doing here tonight. And we're recommending the mahogany sand, and there's a sample of it right up here. Yes, please.
H&G.
So as you can see, a lot of people can't see under the dais here, but you can see it's been put together over several years to make it work for us. It works, but we have the money to improve it and make it what we should be operating out of. And so this is the example of what we're proposing. We're proposing replacement of the chairs. We ordered a sample. And we like this because it matches the carpet and the flooring that we propose putting in here. It'll also match the new furniture that we're proposing putting in. These are just some of the pictures of the torn chairs. So staff contacted various contractors, received multiple bids for the recommended renovations, and they're listed for a total of $122,931.38. So staff recommends the City Council consider the resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement for the exterior and interior renovations and purchase of furniture for the City of Oakdale Council Chambers located right here at 277 North 2nd Avenue in the amount of $122,931.38 to be funded by Education Government CTV Fund 270 in the amount of $65,000 and Facilities Maintenance Fund 540 CP 2125 in the amount of $57,931.38. And with that, I will take questions if you have any.
Any questions
Jerry,
from the council?
I'm being cheap. Do we really need all new chairs? We can't just replace the few that have rips in them? I'm so sorry to bring this up, but
We're never going to match that color.
never? Okay, well, I understand that. And then also, why are we going to be using Joaquin painting? I'm sorry, but I thought, were they not the ones that did the Bianchi Center and then not educate us that the whole building needed to be painted?
Okay, so the Bianchi Center, keep in mind, that's staff's fault. It's not Joaquin's responsibility to educate staff. We're the ones that send it out to bid, and they put in a proper bid. It was staff's fault that we didn't bring it to council and say, hey, we recognize that this whole building needs to be done, so we can't hold that against them. And then they put in a change order bid, and it still came in under what everybody else bid for just the trim. So we can't hold Joaquin Painting responsible for that. There's nothing that disqualifies them, and they're the low bid for this project. Or
They did
for
us a
part-
favor
for part of this
by
project.
being lower with the change order and did a
Okay.
good job.
Well, it does look beautiful, I will admit that.
The Bianchi Center right now is just spectacular when you look at it. It is just absolutely, it's a beautiful piece of property.
Looks really nice. Any other questions from council?
I have a question. So it's a firm number. Oh, thank you. I have a question. It's a firm number, but I don't think we're firm on the plan yet, like leveling the floor. I can see a lot of variables in what we're proposing to do. Is this a hard number, or is this, how do we know what the real cost is when we don't really know exactly what we're doing?
So we took it to the bidders, and we said, this is what we want, and they said, okay, this is your price. So this is all going to be level. So we do know the product that we're getting. This is going to be level, no more tripping hazards. We're going to have the new furniture up here, and then the chairs out there. We'll have the nearly black carpet, and then the squares, so we can replace them as needed, and then the luxury vinyl plank up front.
Okay, so the leveling of the floor has already been determined, and they know what they're doing, and
Yes, we have a lot of faith in this company.
awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any comments from the public? Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, Bob Amaral, and I still live in Oakdale here. Yeah, I came in, I'm not going to dispute the building renovations. I thought this was strictly about furniture. But this is a set amount, correct, Jerry? I mean, it's not going to vary. Ms. Gilbert.
For questions, you can call me and come to my
Well,
office.
you know,
So this is public comment
Some of
time.
it's not clear. Anyway, okay, then I'll get right to the point. As a former city councilman, and I've sat up there for 2.5 years, and I see nothing wrong with this furniture. It looks like it's doing just fine. I had no problem with it when I was sitting up there. And $122,000, and I'm looking around at the chairs here, I don't think they look that bad, like Ms. Gilbert just said. They look just fine to me. This furniture looks fine. You know, regardless of what fund this money is coming from, it's taxpayer money. And it must be nice to get this money so easily and just spend it for your own enjoyment. Anyway, I'll just, that's about it. I'll get right to the point here. I think it's just a big waste of money. I see nothing wrong with the furniture. These chairs look fine to me. I'm looking at them. I don't see any rips. Like I say, if the building needs some renovation, that's fine. But it's just a big waste of taxpayers' money, and I think you're doing it for your own enjoyment, not the citizens of Oakdale. That's all I've got to say. Thank you for your time. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Bob. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Bob. All right, any other public comment? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Bonnie Alcatraz. Not to totally agree with Bob, I understand the need to replace the desks with all the electronic stuff that you guys have to deal with. And this will be replaced also, right? The podium?
No.
No, this stays?
Yes.
Okay, and the chairs, your chairs? Because they were.
Bonnie,
never-
for any questions, you can come to my office and have a conversation, but this is
Okay.
public comment time.
Okay, I'm gonna comment that I agree with the desks being replaced, the total renovation, I think it really needs it, the outside. For your chairs, you've only had them a few years. So I don't think the chairs need to be replaced, or these. I've sat out these. I used to work for the city of Walnut Creek, and their chairs aren't any better than these, and they're fine for the amount of time that we sit in them. So, but the rest, the renovations, the building really does need it, but some of the extra expenditures, I don't think is needed.
Thank you, Bonnie. Merry Christmas.
Jerry, for the Dices furniture, why is it so expensive? Is it
That's-
because that's just how much the manufacturer is for that type of, okay?
Yeah, it's actually a custom-built piece of furniture, yes.
Because that is more expensive than anything else that we're paying that for the bids, correct? Because the Dices furniture is $43,905.
Yes. Yeah, it's custom-built. I believe it's built here in Oakdale.
Yes.
Dang, we should get into that market then.
All right. All right, public comments now closed. Bring it out to the, bring it back to the council.
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
These chairs that we're sitting in were recently purchased, they're staying. These aren't gonna be replaced.
Yeah, these are pretty new, really.
Yeah.
These are, I think Christopher Smith sat in them once.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, this is an action item.
I'll move to approve.
We have a first and a second roll call, please.
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Jerry. Item 11.2.
And more of the same.
All right, keep it flowing.
All right. So before you is consideration of a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreements with Harold Thompson in the amount of $37,000, Crown Painting in the amount of $11,000 for interior painting, and ET abatement in the amount of $20,000. And these are all rough numbers. I'll cover them in the fiscal amount when we're done. For flooring abatement of City Hall located at 280 North 3rd Avenue for a total amount of $68,984 to be funded by Facilities Maintenance Fund 540 CP 2610. So again, this is a budgeted item. As you all know, the Oakdale City Hall underwent a facelift on the front of the building at 280 when we also updated 250 North 3rd Avenue, which is the police department. We made it match. And then across the street at 285 for city finance, that was updated and it all matches. What we didn't do then was renovate anything on the inside of City Hall. So it serves as the administrative and civic hub of the community. The interior of the building is showing significant signs of wear and tear. Painted walls are scuffed, dirty, with noticeable cracks, nail holes, and the building has not undergone substantial upgrades since the 1980s either. So we've been planning on this for a while. Background, so the carpet removal, floor abatement, and carpet and luxury vinyl flooring installation, extreme wear of tiles and carpetings. This is how it looks now. Stains, rips, tears, areas of visible deterioration. And then we have to do some abatement of some 9x9 asbestos tiles underneath the existing carpet. So back when they installed the carpet that we're on now, not in here, but when staff is working, we're on top of carpet, and that carpet is actually on top of asbestos tiles. So we need to abate that at some point. And we figure we have the funding now. Now's the time to do it, not leave it for somebody else to deal with in 20 years. And that requires a special abatement company. And this is what we're talking about with the carpeting and the tile. It's just it's extremely worn. It's more worn than in here because it sees more traffic, more foot traffic, more use than this does. So the new carpeting will be installed in all existing office spaces. It's the durable commercial carpet. It's suited for this type of environment. It'll match what's at the police department now. And then the new LVF will be installed in the front lobby, high traffic areas, and reception areas. It's resilient, easy to clean, lasts for years and years. And again, that matches, this vinyl flooring matches what's over at the police department. The carpets match what's over at the police department. Repainting of the interior walls. All interior walls will be properly prepared for painting, removal, patching holes, minor dents, scrapes, cracks filled, the typical job that comes with painting. And it'll ensure long-term durability and consistent appearance. And you can just see how worn it is. And then this is the wall color that we've chosen and door casing color. So changing that up a little bit. We contacted various contractors, received multiple bids for the painting. The bids are as follows. Harold Thompson for the flooring was $37,363. Crown painting was $11,431, and floor abatement by ET abatement was $20,190 for a total of $68,984. And so staff recommends the City Council adopt the resolution authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement with Harold Thompson in the amount of $37,363 for the flooring, Crown painting in the amount of $11,431 for the interior painting, and ET abatement in the amount of $20,190 for flooring abatement at City Hall located at 280 North 3rd Avenue for a total of $68,984 to be funded by Facilities Maintenance Fund 540 CP 2610. And with that, again, I'll take questions.
Any questions from the council for Jerry?
The door casing should be Mustang red, but I know I won't get that, so.
Yeah, everything.
Then should the walls be yellow?
Yeah, exactly. Question?
I was gonna say this during the previous item as well, but being in a government building for 30 years myself, that was not updated once. in 30 years. I can appreciate wanting to update things for not only the public, but for the employees. Our building that I retired from was demolished and torn down 2 months after I retired because it was unrepairable, unfixable, and basically unsafe. So they tore it down. So I appreciate the city going through the effort to update the facilities because there needs to be a professional look. And I initially, when I was looking at the chairs, green kind of needs to go away. I think we need to have a professional look, not only in these chambers, but in all the city offices, and I think what you're doing is going to establish that.
Thank you. Anyone
Yes.
else?
Thanks for going through the quotes with me the other day and breaking it all down, just like you did here.
My pleasure.
Anyone else? Public comment? All right, seeing none, this is an action item. Would a council member like to make
I'll move to approve.
I second that.
first and second roll call, please?
Councilmember Kettering,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi,
Yes.
and Mayor Barrios.
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, 11.3, Mr. Jeff Roberts, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. How's everyone tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, thanks for being here.
So it's kind of more boring than furniture, but let's talk about weed abatement, shall we? I'd like council to consider a resolution authorizing the city manager, and just so you know, I'm gonna read each one of these funds because this will be the description of all the areas that are getting weed abatement. So just kind of catch the fund. I'll go through this one slow once, and then after that, I'll skip through these without boring you with all the details. So consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a 3-year agreement with 2 one-year extensions with Clark Pest Control Services for weed abatement services in the amount of $49,452 to be funded by the General Fund 110, Bridal Ridge LLMD Fund 284, Vineyards LLMD Fund 286, Aviation Operations Fund 657, Sewer Operations Fund 622, and Water Operations Fund 645. The City of Oakdale has a need to employ a contractor to provide the chemical weed spraying and hazard abatement of city-owned property located throughout the City of Oakdale. In the past 15 years, we've had contractors perform this. I want to say the past 5 years, we've had Clark Pest Control that came and did our services. You know, no company is gonna be perfect, but it's a lot easier for us to manage a contract sometimes than it is the areas that we have to touch. The rules and regulations that they put on pest control from the state and the county, they're very stringent. So the city needs to get back in contract. Our contract has expired. Similar to this structure, it was a 3-year with 2 one-year extensions, and we extended those and are now time to renew. This is just a map showing you all the various areas. There's over 50 areas that we have them spraying for weeds. They will do a pre-emergent, well, let me just catch up with that. What they're gonna do is a pre-emergent 1 time per year with a follow-up post-emergent spraying taking place as an on an ad-need basis. We did contact some of the RP Landscaping and other local contractors. It was funny because Clark was for 5 years, and everyone says, you know, it's time to go to bid, let's see what we get, and we ended up right back with Clark. No one could compete. If you look at the numbers, they just really smoked everybody. And most of the time that would make you kind of wonder why. It's because they knew the system so well. They know the areas, they know the pre-emergent they've already applied, and so they were able to come in at a really good price. We did kind of in-house, you know, judge if we had a QAL, is it, or QAC, there are a couple of different licenses that you would need. If we tried to do that in-house, we wouldn't be saving any money. Don't know how much more we'd actually be spending. We do have some spraying that goes on small bases separate from these areas. So basically, we need to be in a contract. So staff does recommend that the city council adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a 3-year agreement with Clark Pest Control with 2 one-year extensions for the amount of $49,452. Any questions?
I just want to say I did message back and forth with Jerry the other day because my concern was that we're not using somebody that's based in Oakdale, but he gave that same what you just
Yes.
said. So I just
Yeah, we
thought,
had-
man, we have, what, 4 or 5 in Oakdale?
Yeah, they were all invited.
Yeah. Is that how the process works? When we go out to bid? How does one find out about that? Is just on our website? They have
Yeah,
to have-
it depends on if it's an informal bid or if it's a formal bid, there's different processes. A formal bid, that we post that on Quest. We do a lot of stuff on Valley Builders Exchange. It's public notification so that everyone has a chance.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes we'll call people to let them know, hey, there's a new bid that came up,
Yeah.
especially local contractors. We try to make sure that they get their name in the hat.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from council?
That was my question of local contractors, and you answered it.
Pardon me?
That was my question, was the local contractor one.
Yeah,
You answered it, so.
we even didn't, some of them might have been intimidated by the amount of scope of work. Just so you know, before you vote, so like I said, you're managing a contractor, and you're still people working for Clark. And we had some rain come, and it kind of faked us out. We didn't know if we were gonna have spring or summer or winter again there for a little while. Well, the highway coming into town, it responded to that, and man, they had, and you name it, it was sprung up and grew. And what did Clark do? They honored the contract, and I promise you, if you see $49,000 for an entire year, that's this bid. Before it was less. And they went out there with their own crews and grubbed both sides of the highways down to spick and span for us, because that's what they do. They stand by their work, so.
This fog's killing all the weeds for him right now, though.
What's that?
This fog's killing all the weeds for him right now.
Yeah.
The sunlight.
That's true.
All right, any comments from the public? Jeff? All right, this is an action item.
A motion to approve item 11-3.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
I was going to abstain because I thought it was a conflict, but I'm told I'm fine, so yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Jeff. All right, 11.4. Good evening, Patrick.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, and good evening, City Council members. It's a pleasure to be with you again, and I have item 11.4 this evening, which is a new position called Community Compliance Officer. City staff has recognized the need to implement this new position that will encompass several different positions, providing service and support to all as needed. This position, as mentioned, will be called Community Compliance Officer. The duties, responsibility, and areas of support are going to include code enforcement and water conservation, parking enforcement, and assisting with property and evidence. All of these will fall under the direction and supervision of an assigned police sergeant. I included a picture of a Swiss Army knife in this slide here because this position will really be a utility position with multiple capabilities and areas of support. There are several factors that have signaled the need for this position. Currently, we only have one full-time code enforcement / water conservation officer on staff to serve a population of nearly 24,000 residents. We've had this position in place since 2015, and at this time, the city of Oakdale's population was around 21,000 residents. But with increased developments, and these don't always impact all positions that we have for the city of Oakdale, but this is one position in which it directly impacts it, because when you add growth such as apartment complexes, both residential and commercial developments, growing our footprint, that adds code enforcement responsibilities as well. The city of Oakdale has always been conservative with our personnel, recognizing that each employee represents a cost to the citizens. And we strive to provide the best value and level of services that our community needs, while maintaining a conservative approach so that our revenue stays consistent and our general fund stays at or above 40%. We have long recognized the need for additional code enforcement and water conservation support, but at this time, city staff believes that it is necessary to implement a second position. We believe this position is going to be advantageous because in addition to providing additional code enforcement and water conservation support, They will also provide supplemental parking enforcement support and property and evidence support. This is going to give greater support and coverage and allow for continuous, uninterrupted service in all areas. By providing supplemental support to our Property and Evidence Division, this position will receive training and be able to assist our one and only Police Services Coordinator, who, in addition to being in charge of all property and evidence, is also responsible for managing the entire police vehicle fleet and all that goes into that. For several, at this time, as it pertains to fiscal impact, I wanted to take a moment to mention our plans to assume the California Department of Housing and Community Development, otherwise known as HCD, which is a lot easier to say. We would like to assume HCD enforcement responsibilities here in Oakdale as it pertains to mobile home parks. And the reason why it's appropriate to mention these plans is because doing this will have a direct financial impact on offsetting the overall cost for this position. I'll go ahead and explain that. For several months now, city staff has been researching the procedures in order for us to assume HCD responsibilities, and we plan on presenting this at a near future city council meeting. HCD currently provides oversight and enforcement over all mobile home units in Oakdale. However, in our opinion, they have not been performing adequately, resulting in hazardous living conditions in several of our mobile home units. One particular problem area that we've been working with them on for more than 2 years now is the Loma Lane Mobile Home Park off of G Street, which I know some of you might be familiar with. I know PD definitely is getting multiple calls to go out there to that area. There have been multiple code enforcement violations resulting from poor living conditions and fire and safety concerns. These pictures that you see on the screen here are just 3 of many photos that give you a picture of the type of living conditions in Loma Lane. Most of you know that we've been working with a law firm called Civica that specializes in extreme, complex code enforcement situations. Since partnering with Civica a little over a year ago, we have had tremendous success with multiple properties here in Oakdale. One of them that you might be familiar with is the property 551 South Yosemite, just across from the ConAgra building. We've had great success with Civica on many of those. However, with the Loma Lane Mobile Home Park, our hands have been tied because we've had to rely on HCD to do their part, and they move much, much slower than we do. And they are not vested in this city because these mobile homes are just one of the many that they're responsible for throughout the region. By the city of Oakdale taking oversight of these mobile home parks, it's going to have a twofold, it's going to serve twofold purpose for us. One, it's going to give us greater authority to enforce the conditions at these mobile home parks. And then also, it's going to generate income that's currently going to HCD from permit fees and tax revenues. Historically, this tends to be around $40,000 in annual revenue that would then go to the city of Oakdale rather than to HCD. This funding will offset the total cost of this new position. The proposed salary range for the community compliance officer is range 23. Below is a breakdown of the monthly salary amounts by step. The top end of this salary range would be approximately $67,000 per year. With the estimated $40,000 in revenue the city of Oakdale will receive by taking over HCD, the annual salary would be reduced to $27,000. Funds are available for this, with 75% from Fund 110, General Fund, and 25% from Fund 645, Water Operations. In summary, having a full-time position in place that would not only provide additional code enforcement and water enforcement support. And I just wanted to take one moment here to talk about the water enforcement support. One thing that I just wanted to point out, sometimes you don't think about the water enforcement as much as the code enforcement, but one thing that we city staff have noticed since we implemented that My Civics app, where citizens can go online and they can put complaints in there for problem areas such as illegal parking or overwatering or various issues, we have seen quite an uptick, almost twice as much for the water complaints, overuse of watering, as well as code enforcement complaints, which has led to more of a burden on our staff as well. So in summary, having a full-time position in place that will not only provide code enforcement and water support, but also parking enforcement and property and evidence support will greatly extend the reach of services in these areas, and it will also allow our staff to be more proactive in addressing necessary issues and ensuring overall compliance. So with that, staff's recommendation is for the City Council to adopt a resolution that would approve this position of Community Compliance Officer and the job description that goes along with it. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to take any questions that you might have.
So Patrick, our current code enforcement officer, Diana Garcia, does a fabulous job, and she could actually probably work 24/7 with all the stuff that comes across her desk, correct? So this staff member would be aiding her, correct?
That is correct, yes, is one of the duties.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions from council?
You brought up the water, so I'm just thinking in my head, neighbor complains about another neighbor watering their lawn too much. I mean, aren't those people paying for their water? Is that an issue that you're kind of getting at, of what this person will potentially address? Are they gonna tell them they can't water their lawn as much, like or they can't park their trailer next to their house type of thing? Like like, is that going to be, is that what all those different tasks are gonna be tackling? I mean, I see what the description is, but it kind of just, hopefully it's not abused in pettiness is what I'm kind of getting at.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. What we found is that with the water overwatering complaints that we've gotten, they haven't really been so much on the petty side. They've been more of the serious. A lot of them have involved the code enforcement on the front end and then handing it off to either the parks or the actual water division, because a lot of it has to do with maybe sometimes broken sprinklers, like on the mow strip areas. You know, if a citizen sees a broken sprinkler and it's just gushing up, you know, like a geyser into the air, then they'll report that.
I call all the time, there's like one sprinkler the guy doesn't see. It's always busted.
Right, and it's always at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, some of them, I mean, we do have our watering schedule with the odd and the even days by residences, but we haven't really found that too many people are calling someone out for watering on their off day. I mean, it's kind of the gross stuff to where it's impacting other residents, to the water is where the water is flowing into their properties, you know, and going into the sidewalk area and causing a hazard. And those are areas where the code enforcement will go in, they'll investigate, they'll take photos, they'll get the address, and then they'll see if they either need to pass it off to the appropriate division, whether it's parks or water, or notify the citizens.
Will they also be a option to contact if, say, somebody wants to replace a fence and they want to find out, hey, can I replace this fence to this height, or is this going to be somebody that can support that type of stuff too, or is that?
That would be supported by Public Services. For a fence. Now, if they're in violation if they're in violation of the code and they build a 20-foot fence, then code enforcement would get involved with that. But finding out what type of fence they can put, they would be directed over to Public Services.
And one thing too, this is kind of an off the side from your question, but we feel that, you know, having a blend of code enforcement and parking enforcement in this one position, which we don't have right now. We have a few part-timers that deal with parking enforcement that a lot of you have probably seen. You've seen Vicky out there doing a great job and stuff, but we have part-time parking enforcement, and then we have our code enforcement. one of them deals with parking on the public streets and one deals with the private streets. And so I really think that this position, having a blend of those two responsibilities of both the code enforcement and parking enforcement, is going to be a really nice blend. It's going to require them to have the information on both of those and being able to liaise with the departments. So I think this would be a really good utility position for these duties that they're going to do.
Well, one more question for maybe Jerry and Jason, or maybe you can answer. Some people might say that we need more police officers instead of code enforcers. What, has that been considered too with adding another position? Because I know we just did the animal control position and adding more police officers. Is that something that was considered too with this as well?
Annually, we look at our staffing levels. We're confident with the 24 sworn, and this will, and the cost difference on the two is quite substantial. It's probably double for a police officer. So
Yeah.
right now with the 24, I think we're in a solid position. Crime rate's down 5% year to date. Safest community in Stanislaus County. So I think the police department's doing a phenomenal job with what they have.
Okay, thank you. And I didn't mean it negative towards this.
No,
I'm
not
just
at all, yeah.
Curious of what the.
And also, just one quick update while you mentioned the code and animal control officer supervisor position, and just a quick update on that. We have not filled that position at this time, and it's been decided just to wait a little while. You did approve the position itself, so we have it on the books. We did do a recruitment for that position after the council approved it, and we didn't get too many quality applications in for that position, so we decided we'd be best for right now, instead of just hiring somebody with no experience, to just push pause on that for a little while. So far, staff has not filled the animal control officer supervisor position. Just wanted to give a quick update on that. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one. Patrick, I may have missed it, but how, we have two part-time parking enforcement, I don't know, what's the real name?
Parking aid.
We have 3 part-time parking attendants. Yes.
So is this instead of or in addition to?
We will drop to 2.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any, you have a question?
No.
Any comments from the public? Okay, this is an action item.
I motion to approve item 11-4. And thank you, Diana, for all of your hard work every day. It doesn't go unappreciated at all.
Second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch? Yes. And Mayor Barrios?
Yes, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, item 12.1. Albert, Mr. Avila.
Mayor and council, annually, we are, let me back up. In 2011, the state of California did away with redevelopment agencies, which provided significant revenues to the city to make significant capital improvements. And so when they did away with this, at that point in time, it was Governor Brown that was the governor. And he had been mayor of Oakland and had raided their redevelopment agencies. And so he thought that everybody else was doing the same thing. And so he wanted more money to the state, so they did away with the redevelopment agencies. And he thought he was going to end up with a lot of new money. Unfortunately, most redevelopment agencies were heavily in debt. And so a lot of that property tax revenue still had to pay the debt. And so as part of this process, the successor agencies were created to basically wind down and pay off the loans. At that point in time, the city had loaned about $2 million to the redevelopment agency. The state of California would not allow us to put that as part of a repayment schedule. But the state had a minimum funding for administration, which provided $250,000. We have, by using part of that $250,000 that paid for some administration, we used part of that money and probably by the end of this year, we will have paid the city funds, the $2 million. So we have been able to do what the state wanted to take away by using that administrative portion of the budget that they allowed us to fund. So annually, we are required to, as the successor agency, to approve the recognized obligation payment schedule, which basically is the debt, and the administrative expenses. And so once the council approves this, then these recognized obligation schedule is submitted to the county, which then they approve all of the recognized obligations for all of the redevelopment agencies. And then we must submit that information to the state by February 1st. So what we're requesting is the council as the successor agency to approve the recognized obligation payment schedule that is attached in the packet.
That's a lot of stuff going on right there.
Yes.
A lot of stuff.
It took some
Yeah.
doing, because it
Yeah.
was one of those that Brian Whitemeyer and I met with the state several times, and they would not budge. That basically we would have to eat that $2 million. And I told Brian, we're gonna figure out a way to pay ourselves back, and we have.
Good job.
And every year, the state would complain, oh, you shouldn't be spending the $250,000 in your administrative budget. You should reduce it. And it's one, you can squawk all you want, but it's in the state legislation that says we get $250,000. We're gonna submit our $250,000, and we're gonna take care of ourselves. And so we have been able to do that.
Nice. All right, thank you. Any questions from council? Comments from the public? All right. This is an action item.
I motion to approve item 12-1, and thank you, Albert. You spent a lot of time, and you can tell just by how you're speaking that you're happy to be done with this as well.
Yes.
I'll second. Anybody who dealt with government budgets between 2010 and 2012, hats off. Those were not fun years in dealing with government budgets. So.
Thank you. First and a second, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettering?
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch? Yes. Councilmember Patassi?
Yes.
And Mayor Barrios?
Yep, this item passes 5-0. Thank you, Colleen. All right, city manager's report. Anything to add?
Nothing to add except for Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right, city council. Any council member have an item?
Yes. We talked about this previously. I had the opportunity to sit down with a few different city employees that brought up pay, insurance, retirement type of things. And it's getting towards the end of the year. Just wanted to bring it up. I know that you guys are going to be in discussions and negotiations and stuff soon. Is there going to be any uptick in or possibility for more pay? Because that kind of seems they're willing to take the higher cost in insurance if they just had more take-home money, stuff like that was stuff that they brought up to me. So just wanted to bring it up for them, and I've been reached out to by several employees and wanted me to bring it up. So,
Yeah, so we'll go into negotiations and then I'll bring it back to City Council.
thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All right, well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see everybody Monday, January 5th, 6:30 p.m., right here in the council chambers. Bye, have a great night. Meeting adjourned.